finally back doing some live streaming of exposing monster CRs here on the channel on YouTube. Let's switch to that live screen and get to this. Alright, do we have anyone here? I thought I saw someone was waiting. Looks like we have one person at the moment, or nobody. I don't know. It doesn't matter. In any event, I've got some monsters waiting in the line, and just updating everyone, I have been out because, you know, the beginning of the year is pretty crazy for me. I got lots of birthdays. Thankfully, the majority of them get taken care of all by the time April's done, and I got some stragglers. And then, you know, pretty much that's it. Hey, Clawpaw, thanks for making it. It's great to see you, as always. I got your custom monster here, Margaret the Fell Omen, ready to go. Just, you know, getting ready to jump into this, making sure everything's set, because it has, I think my wife reminded me, it's been like 3 weeks because we had a belated birthday for my stepdaughter, and then I had to cancel that following week, and then I had my birthday, and now we're good to go. I think the next birthday is going to be like in probably another like 3 or 4 weeks or so. So, yes, it is good. Good to see you, Clawpaw. Running pretty good, although my cats woke me up at like 5:45 this morning, so I got up instead of trying to get back to sleep with them constantly going in and out of the house and into the bedroom. So I got up and just started cooking. Been doing some cooking and whatnot because my wife is getting back into her paleo diet, which is good. She was doing it for a while there, and I went into like a vegetarian. A very interesting setup between the two of us, but it works. And then, yeah, so did some cooking, and then finally, like, 10 o'clock rolled around. I'm like, man, I gotta get to bed. Hello from Cornucopia, and please do Giant Lizard. Yes, I saw Cornucopia's request, and I have that on the list. So I have 4 items so far. I've got your custom here, Margit, and then I have the Owlbear, Giant Lizard, and Giant Ape. Let's see here. Giant yeah, that's right. Cornucopia requested the Owlbear and Giant Lizard as well together. So I've got 4 in the line. They shouldn't be too terrible. I did have a quick look at yours here, Clawpaw, for Margit, and I was like, ooh, this is gonna be a fun one, especially since it's looking at CR 13. But yeah, so my cats woke me up, got up, slept only for about 6 hours, and then went back to bed for like an hour, got some extra sleep, so I should be good up until then. Yes, your oath is fulfilled. Perfect. That is what we need of the paladins. To fulfill their oaths. Because we don't want any oath breakers. That would be the worst. Anyways, some other channel news. I'm in the works of getting my next set of CR fixes videos done, similar to the Kobold. I'm going to be working with my brother on the other ones going forward, and we'll see how that works out. But I'm going to be turning those all into shorts videos, and I think they're going to be pretty fun. I'm going to be using Foundry instead of Roll20, and my Foundry is really souped up to do a lot of extra special effects and sound effects and whatnot, so hopefully I don't have to spend all that time doing it myself. After that, yeah, my big project at work is finally starting to wind down, and hopefully that'll be finished up so I can start looking into doing an actual live stream campaign. I've been working and fleshing things out for that, and I just have to start wrangling up some players of some of my friends and whatnot. So I got some people in mind, and we'll see what happens there. All right, and let's jump into this. I think that's pretty much it for the channel news. There are some other video ideas I have had, which are also similar to the player versus monster CR fixes, just doing some videos of like monster versus monster to see how that thing goes. Yes, thank you, Clawpaw. I'm really excited to hit 2.2k subs. I'm very impressed, especially with how quickly the subscribes are coming in. So anyone that subscribes, and if you're subscribed now, thank you. Especially if you also like the video, that'd be fantastic. Talking to anyone in the future. Anyways, thanks for everyone that's watching this later on or now. And let's jump into this with Margaret the Fell Omen, a large aberration. So let's see here. We've got a large aberration. with 14 AC. And let's see here, how many hit dice? We got 20 hit dice. Yes, at D10. Okay, a little confused there for a second. Let's take a look at the stats. We got 20 for strength. Also for dex, 16 con, 15 int, 15 wisdom, and 15 charisma. Wow, that's a strong boy right there. Okay. 13 CR is what we're looking for. And we'll move down into the monster skills areas here. Got no other better name for it than that. Let's see here. So we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 saves. Perfect. So we will go ahead and switch that up to 3 to 4 saves, giving us a +2 effective AC bonus. And then we have damage vulnerabilities to necrotic and attacks from magical shields. That's an interesting note. Magical shields. Okay. I'm not going to put in anything for necrotic or the attacks from magical shields. From the sounds of things, it'll probably come up later on with the monster. But for now, we're going to skip vulnerabilities since there's technically only two conditions. There we go. Had a brain fart for a moment because it's been a while. And we'll move down into the damage resistances here of cold fire, force, slashing, piercing, and bludgeoning from non-magical weapons. And that will definitely give us a bit of a bump here for hit points with an extra 25% hit points. Hello, Dexter. One of my cats has come in to see what I'm doing since I'm talking a lot. And let's see here. Oh, if you're wondering who Dexter is in the Discord, in the pet section. Hey, Lorendar, how's it going, buddy? I'm just going to say this right now. You dropped that on us all in our campaign, and I'm out. I take it you're talking about Margaret the Fell Omen here. Oh, no, this is just Clawpaw's custom monster he's throwing against his players in his campaign. Yeah, because in the game you can cheese it by block shield attacks. This is very true. Oh, we got Loki in here as well. Oh, goodbye, Loki. Okay, I think the cats have gone out. All right, anyways. So then, let's see what else we have here. We've got damage immunities with only 2, Psychic and Psychic. We've got 2 versions of Psychic. I'm guessing we probably meant poison or something here. That's curious. Okay, we're not going to worry about damage immunities since there's technically 2 conditions. Or technically 1, but we have 2 conditions listed. Then we also have condition immunities for Charmed and Frightened, and a bunch of other stuff we're not too worried about right now. So let's move down into our monster traits area. And we have, let's see here, 3 spells that can be done at will of Spiritual Weapon, Branding Smite, and Holy Weapon. Spiritual Weapon will definitely be taken into effect unless we have something else using the bonus action. And then we have Branding Smite and Holy Weapon. Branding Smite is one of those also that takes a bonus action to set up, so it may or may not be useful, depending. We'll see how that works out. Okay, so only Psychic for the damage immunities. Got you, Clawpaw. Thank you. And then Holy Weapon. So, let's see here. We are using it at CR 13, so let's go to the spell damage lookup table. And here's something I'd like to take a quick note at. You'll notice, if you've been paying attention to this, that my spell damage chart here has gotten a little bigger. I felt the need to have the casting time and concentration put into place, so I've added that into my tool here so I can see, all right, what kind of casting time is it doing, and if it requires concentration. Now, it's definitely not perfect because I had some goofs up when I was doing it, and I've already fixed one error, but hopefully it's close to 100%. Lorendar, I suck at parrying, so many attempts, and aneurysm were had. Yeah, true. Okay, so let's get ourselves a Spiritual Weapon up here. And let's see here, Spiritual Weapon. And that will be at base, since it is a innate spell, so we would only be doing an extra 7.5 points of damage. It is an actual damage per round and not effective, and it uses the bonus action to cast, and is not concentration. So thankfully, that's working out perfectly there. Now that incites us to request more casting monsters. Yeah, casting monsters takes some time. So we'll add in 7.5 here for the bonus action of the spiritual weapon. As for Branding Smite, let me just take a look at that on the side here. Another second level spell, does 2d6 damage, but it's concentration and requires a bonus action as well. Could be useful to set up, but it's only one shot. So I would think that the spiritual weapon and using that as the bonus action may be a better use of that for action economy and such. So for the moment, I'm going to just use spiritual weapon since this is a persistent spell and we don't have to worry about, ooh, excuse me. We don't have to worry about recasting it every turn to get the Branding Smite effect. And then Holy Weapon. What's the last thing for Holy Weapon here? Holy Weapon will do for another bonus action and concentration. You can imbue a weapon for 2d8 points of damage, radiant damage. Okay. If the weapon isn't already a magic weapon, it becomes one for the duration. Okay, so let's see here. Nope. That's the wrong thing. All right. Did I have the wrong spell level for that? Oh, 5th level. Wow. Ugh, jeez. Okay. Holy Weapon. Okay, and that's cast at 5th level spell. Why do I have 44 effective DPR? I think I'm going to fix that. Oh, probably because of the burst? Or no, there's a whole bunch of extra damage on it. I'm going to have to investigate that one. Okay, anyways, let's move on from there. Actually, alright, hold on. So we're getting 2d8 for the damage on a hit, and then as a bonus action on your turn for the next turn, because it takes a bonus action to cast Holy Weapon, we would do the initial 2d8 points of radiant damage, and then on the next turn, as a bonus action, you can dismiss the spell. Excuse me, I had some wine with dinner. Emits a burst of radiance. Each creature in the choice in that can, let's see here, makes a Constitution save. Failed creature takes 48 radiant damage and is blinded for 1 minute. On a successful save, it does some other stuff. So we're looking at a total of round 1, 2d8, round 2, another 2d8, and then you can bonus action burst it for 48. So we're looking at a total of 8d8. So what does that look like for damage? 8 times 4.5. So we're looking at 36 damage. And then it also has the blind. So ironically enough, 44 may actually be correct because blindness, let's see here, blind and deafness is 16 DPR. And that would be what, 4, 12, 52 technical damage overall for Holy Weapon. So actually Holy Weapon might even be better than the spiritual weapon in theory. Okay, it would be every other effect though. All right, so we could use Holy Weapon once we get there. And we're looking at, we'll just pop that in for 56. No, I said 52 for the time being for its effective DPR with the blind in there. Okay, moving on. We have High Jump. That's not really going to do much for us. We don't have to worry too much about that. Someone must extinguish thy flame. All right, so at the start of the round, Market chooses a creature. It attacks have advantage against the chosen creature until the end of the round. If his quarterstaff is under an effect that turns it into a magic weapon, with Holy Weapon, the attack ignores what? Bonnie of non-magical shields and calculates the AC for the attack. Oh, bonus of non-magical shields and calculates the AC for the attack roll -1. If non-magical medium or heavy weapon is worn. Okay. Interesting. So how can we configure that one? Let's take a look at the weapons real quick. We have a quarterstaff and a tail. All right, so yeah, definitely we would be using Holy Weapon with the quarterstaff. Oh, now we get to the cool stuff. Yeah. All right, so we're going to basically have advantage every round. Doesn't matter. We're going to have Holy Weapon up as a bonus action, and we're going to either possibly even Branding Smite, but regardless, holy weapon will turn the quarterstaff into a holy weapon. So we will have advantage every round. So that's going to give us basically blood frenzy, because with the Sahuagin, yeah, I was about to do it, Lorindar. With the blood frenzy, the Sahuagin get attacks every bonus action, or excuse me, advantage on the attack every round of combat. So since the quarterstaff could be a holy weapon all the time, I'm going to suggest that this is definitely going to get the +4 attack bonus. Attack bonus. Yes, the attack bonus here from this combination here. If his quarterstaff is under the effect, alright, the attack ignores bonuses of non-magical shields and calculates the AC for the attack roll -1. Oh, okay. So their AC gets -1, and if non-magical medium or heavy armor is worn. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to suggest that someone must extinguish thy flame is going to give us the +4 attack bonus here, because the quarterstaff is always going to be holy because we have the holy weapon at will. So let's see, what's next? Put these foulish ambitions to rest. If Margit lands an attack made with advantage, lands a critical hit, or reduces a creature's hit points to 0, all effects and spells that affect this creature or are cast by it are negated and get cancelled. Margit also lands critical hits on 19 and 20. Okay. So all of our attacks are always going to be advantage because we're always going to attack the creature from someone must extinguish. So we are now increasing our critical range. So I will throw that in there and hopefully remember to include the damage from that later on. Alright, next we have Phase 2. When Margit the Fell Omen falls under 85 hit points, at 50%, it gains 2 more legendary actions and heals 40 hit points, as well as uses 1 bonus action, which does not waste its normal bonus action. Okay, so in theory, we won't see Phase 2 in the first 3 rounds of combat right off the bat. Who knows? I mean, generally speaking, combat usually doesn't last longer than maybe 4 or 5, 3 at the soonest. So we'll take a look at Phase 2 after the fact and see what we have later on. So now let's jump down into our actions and legendary actions after a quick sip of water. Lemon water, that is. Alright, we have a multi-attack here. Margit does 2 quarterstaff attacks, and the quarterstaff itself has a +13 to hit, which is coming from the 13 of +5 and let's see here. Oh yes, well no, hold on. Proficiency bonus plus the bonus to hit coming from strength or dex. Since it's a quarterstaff, it should be the bonus here. Yeah, I didn't know how to include this, but as a Souls boss, I thought it should add something like this. Oh, gotcha. Okay. Right, this is from the new game there. Elden Ring. This is an Elden Ring conversion, I believe. Alright. Right now, I'm only seeing a +10 to hit, since CR 13 should be a +5 proficiency bonus, and then we have a +5 strength bonus here. So it looks like the 13 that we have marked here, Clawpaw, is a little overboard, unless the quarterstaff itself is getting a bonus somewhere. Right, Holy Weapon doesn't add any pluses to attack. Let's see here, what else? Yeah, so I think technically we should have a +10 to hit for the quarterstaff. So we'll go with that, unless it's supposed to be a +3 quarterstaff weapon. After that, we have 32 points of damage, so we would have the +2 the melee weapon 2 hit bonus you have here, Clawpaw. It's saying 13. Yeah, 13 looks sus. But just to verify, at CR 13, we should have a +5 proficiency bonus, and then coupled with our strength bonus, we should have +10. Okay. And then from there, we have the 6d8 plus 5. So we will do 6d8 and the strength bonus for 32. Perfect. So that will be that for our quarterstaff. And then we have the tail attack. Melee weapon attack, dexterity save, DC 15, range 20 feet, all targets in range. Wow, okay. Hits on a 19, or hits for 19 damage, and people are knocked 15 feet away and prone, or half as much and not moved or knocked prone. Okay, so we have a dex save, and it's hitting all targets, so we will expect 2 saves worth of damage, 2 failed saves worth of damage, excuse me. So that will be the, just to verify the damage, we will go and put in 4d6, oops, what did I do here? 4d6 plus our strength bonus of 19, perfect. And then we will just double that because we're expecting 2 failures, 1 failure, and 2 successes, or upwards of 4 successes from 4 targets. So times 2, we get 38 points of damage for the tail attack, which, ironically enough, is bigger than the 1 quarterstaff attack, but our quarterstaff does get to swing twice. So we get to do that 2 times for a total of 64 points of damage, which is more than the from the tail attack, which is good for now. Now, let's take a look at the legendary actions and see what we have. So Margit only makes 2 legendary actions, which is good to see. And we have 4 options. We can do quarterstaff. Margit makes 1 quarterstaff attack. So right off the bat, I would say let's do that 2 times. So that will just simply be the multi-attack. Number 2 here is the tail. Margit makes 1 tail attack. And since we could do that twice because there's no limit on this, and I might suggest a limit here, we would take the 38 and times that by 2 for 76, which isn't terrible. It's pretty good. Spiritual weapon, Margit uses its spiritual weapon, which is cool, so we could get in the spiritual weapon now instead of using that as a bonus action. So that's great to use. Well, in theory, I mean, if we're looking at the quarterstaff and the tail attacks, the spiritual weapon itself is kind of like it's not the best use of the legendary actions, the 2 that it has right now, and especially moving on into phase 2 for this boss, it would be even more so. Like, we basically would want to skip even bothering with the spiritual weapon because the holy weapon bursts that we can do repeatedly, and everything else, spiritual weapon just isn't really a top runner here unless we upcast it or we tell the people that it must be cast at a higher level. Yeah, I tried to include some more legendary actions as these add the aggressive patterns or of called soul bosses. Gotcha. And then we have the last one here is a move. Margit moves up to its movement speed. So with that one, I would just say it's similar to the aggressive state of orcs, and the orcs can move as a bonus action up to like half their speed, I believe. Let's take a look here. Oh, no, okay. The creature moves up to its speed towards a hostile creature can see. Perfect. All right, so that's just 2 DPR extra, which is dumb. And since we have 2, we could say, all right, move will be worth 4 extra DPR, which is pointless. So what we have here for our best options is actually going to be tail for the legendary action. So basically, every round is going to be the same of 2 quarterstaff attacks, plus the holy weapon burst, which is going to be brutal. All right, let's add that in too, since we worked it out beforehand. So we're looking at 2d8 on 1 round. So we would have, actually let me go up here to use it. 2d8 on 1 round, and 8d8 on a 2nd round. And then on the 3rd round, we could do the 2d8 again as we set up for another holy weapon. And then on the 4th round, we could burst. All right. So every round of combat is going to look basically the same, of the multi-attack as our main action, plus the tail attacks as our legendary action, since we can do those twice. before we hit phase 2. And we will just repeat that all the way here. So right off the bat, we're looking at a CR 16 even before we add in the holy weapon, which we still need to add in because we need that holy weapon modifier for the quarterstaff. The quarterstaff and the foul ambitions to in combination here. I believe that I'm looking at that correctly. Anyways, so we would say we will add in plus the 9 here, and then we would add in plus the 36 here, and then plus 9 more here. And now we're up to CR 17. Now this is even before we've added in the critical damage, which thankfully I've remembered. And let's see here. So we are looking at what are we doing here? Okay, so the total damage is going to be this plus this, and then 19 and no, excuse me. That and actually I don't know why I'm going through all this trouble here. All right, we'll take the multi-attack plus the legendary actions, and then we need to minus out the strength attacks, or the strength modifiers. We have to subtract, was it 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to subtract 20 points of damage from this because of, we don't double the strength modifiers in our crits. So we're looking at an extra added 24 DPR output. So in theory, since we have a crit range of 19 to 20, which increases our crit chances from 5 to 10%, we would see every round of combat or every attack potential extra of 24 damage until we finally crit. So let's see here. We'll just add in the extra damage from that into one spot, and that only that does bump up the OCR here from 23 to 24, and we end up with a CR 17 monster as opposed to the 13, which we had here. But because we're also looking at resistances, let's move this up to a 17, which will probably drop it down a bit. Hopefully we don't hit a infinite loop. All right, so we now have a 16 because we get rid of the extra 25% bonus because we're over a certain threshold. And let's put in 16 now and see what happens. Yeah, of course we've hit an infinite loop here because it's bouncing back and forth between 16 and 17. All right, so because of this infinite loop that we're hit now, let's see what happens and let's see what our monster looks like once we look at bypassing resistances. Let's say all of our players, when they're facing this monster for CR 13, actually have magical weapons and all the abilities to get around that, or extra spells that don't have to deal with all the resistances that are listed here. So we'll go to none since we would be bypassing, and this puts us at 16. Wow. Okay, so even with resistances, I would say, I guess this is a CR 16 monster. Listen, I told you it all. It was a bit underrated. That's perfectly okay, Clawpaw. Crazy combinations and a lot of interesting work you put into it. It's a good monster. I like it. It's got some very excellent combinations here of stuff that I probably wouldn't have thought of, and I would be proud of the monster you created here. Have fun with it. Definitely throw it in there. I don't know if my buddy Lorendar would be too happy with me if I used it in my campaign, but who knows? And of course, it's an infinite loop. What else does one expect from a homebrew of mine? I've had it happen too, don't worry. I see them all the time. Okay, so Clawpaw, there you go. That's Margit the Fell Omen. You're very welcome. And now we'll move on. We have a couple other monsters here ready to go. We have the Owlbear and Giant Lizard by Cornucopia, who unfortunately can't make it tonight because they are also probably asleep right now. Clawpaw is the only one, the person decided to stay up or not go to bed to stay and watch the live stream. So thank you, Clawpaw, for doing so, even though you're many hours ahead of me right now. I think that's what, 3:30 in the morning or so for you right now? Tough dude. Tough person right there. All right, we got the owlbear next. Classic monster. Let's see, where are we looking for the owlbear in the monster manual? What page is that on? Okay, monster manual, page 249. Perfect. Let me pull up the book. That's the one thing I forgot to get ready. It was my books. Let's see here. Monster manual. Perfect. Lorndar saying, you have to understand, this is the first boss in the main lineup of the game. Okay. Lorndar, I got you. I haven't played it, but I've seen the videos, and I saw the Spiffing Brits exploit of that boss, so I know who you're talking about now. Clawpaw. Imagine not having a crumbled sleep schedule and having their life together. I have a crumbled sleep schedule as well, thanks to my cats. And no, apparently we had our time shift tonight, so it's 4 a.m. Oh, okay. All right, so you guys are 6 hours ahead now. Curious. Okay. And yes, it is the first boss. Many didn't expect it. Yeah. I've heard some, like I said, the Spiffing Brit. Like I said, I haven't played it, but I saw the Spiffing Brit already exploit the first boss for an interesting bug. So if you haven't watched the Spiffing Brits channel, definitely go check it out on YouTube. Really good stuff. Funny guy, too. All right, owlbear. Let's get to the owlbear. We are on 249, so that's probably 250 here. And there we go. Classic monster to put it against some lower level people, especially since it's a CR3. Not too terrible, but could be destructive. Warrendar, I heard a lot of people actually quit the game because of Margit. Oh no! But that's what's supposed to happen. It's a Soul-style game. And I think it's supposed to be like a follow-up of the Souls games anyway, so you're not supposed to beat it right off the bat. Anyways. Alright, we have our owlbear, a large monstrosity. I would like to think it's a large beast. I don't know why they consider it a monstrosity. It's just half bear, half owl. To me, it looks like a normal beast in the woods, just with feathers. Will we look at dinosaurs with feathers and say, oh, that's a monstrosity, not a beast? Anyways, 13 AC. It is large for the purposes of hit dice, 7d10, with, I'm just going to go for the Constitution bonus of 17, and should be a CR3. We have nothing to worry about in the skills section here, real basic run-of-the-mill, and we have only keen sight and smell in the monster traits area. So nothing to do there. We can just jump right down into the action section. Clawpaw, for real? Oof, I mean, Margit is optional, but that's rough to hear. That is indeed very rough. I may play this game one of these days, who knows. Anyways, moving on, action section. We have multi-attack. The owlbear makes 2 attacks, one with its beak and one with its claws. Which, you know, when it says well, yeah, there's multiple claws in one hand. Never mind, I was going to try and get technical here, but I failed. Okay. We have a +7 to hit. Holy cow, +7 at... Oh man, no wonder why this is such a terrible monster to fight at these lower levels. +7 to hit. Yikes. Holy cow. Okay. Let's see here. We have 10 points of damage for its first attack of the beak, and 14 damage even for its claw attack. Wow. Okay, yeah, so this is, no wonder why this is a terror right here. We're looking at 24.5 points of damage for the multi-attack, and this is all it can do every round of combat. So, bring some raw meat when you go adventuring. And, wow. Would you look at that? It's actually underrated. Or, excuse me, it's overrated. It's an overrated owlbear. It's not doing enough damage for CR3. So even though it's hitting like a truck, and hitting as often as a truck would hit with a +7 bonus here, it's not a CR3. This is ridiculous. Oh no. Alright. So how do we fix this? what are we going to do to fix this? First off, let me go and actually get the dice set up here. So, because we might need to modify the dice a little bit. So we've got, what's here? What? Wait a minute. Wait. No. What am I doing? Oh, that's right, because I didn't put in the strength bonus here. All right, there we go. That's better. 10.5, I was going to say. Something looks wrong here. We've got 2d8. Oops. All right, back that up. All right, so we have our 10.5 and we have our 14. All right, let me just put those in real quick. All right, my first thought, because we always want to make these things more deadly, is to add in a second claw attack. So we'll do beak, claw, claw for our owlbear and fix that. Fix, in quotes. Hey, population growth, thanks. Thanks for joining us, buddy. How's it going? We are currently working on the owlbear. Turns out the owlbear is overrated at CR2, even though it hits like crazy. So we're going to go here and add in a second claw attack and see if that gets us to CR3. Now we have a CR3. Interesting. Okay, so we didn't have to worry about the dice and modifying those at all. We just need to make a second claw attack. So it's going to hit a lot. I mean, +7 against, you know, players that are what? Let's see here. Oh. Yeah. The Encounter Builder. This is a new tool that I haven't released yet. But it does what I've been suggesting people do anyways. So let's see here. Our monster... We have a CR3 monster. Let's say we have 3 players and they're level 4. So that gives us a converted CR3. So in theory, this would be a hard encounter for 3 PCs at level 4. We probably wouldn't want 3 players against 1 owlbear, but this is an even match of action economy if we bump this up for 3 attacks. So this actually would be a really good encounter of 3 players against 1 owlbear. Population growth, sorry for missing so many streams. You didn't miss too many. The last like 3 weeks I had to cancel because of various reasons, so you didn't miss much. But thanks for joining tonight, population growth. Yeah, new tool. That's something I'm just throwing in here. I haven't released it to the population yet, or the general population. Something I just, have been working with right now. So if we, so this is the list of where we put in all of our different PCs. So for instance, if we had 2 more PCs at level 1, wow, that's weird. Okay, I'll have to fix that. I don't know why that's doing that. Anyways, let's try 2 PCs at level 2. Okay, there we go. 2 PCs. PCs are level 2. Converted CR is 1. That's not right. Alright, I'm going to have to fix that. Let me check my math real quick. Good to see things aren't working out properly, and I can fix that later on. Alright, so 4 players times 2.5. Oops. 4 players times 2.5. Times 3. Perfect. Okay. 2 times 2.5. Oh, no! No, wait. No, that's not right. No, level 2. No, that is correct. Oh, wow. Okay. Times 2 players. Yeah, alright. So that is correct. There, anyways. Yeah, so you can put any number of players in here, and it will give you the numbers, although I have to fix that problem of the 1 showing up. And then you would put in the number of monsters, so we have a CR3 here, which means we have remaining CR till deadly of 0, which now means we have a hard encounter for our players, in theory. If we add in another beak attack, are you saying if we add in 2 beak attacks and 1 claw instead? We could do that. Let's go back here and see what happens. So let's flip this real quick and we'll say 23. Still a CR3, thankfully. So you can either add in 1 claw or 1 beak attack. In theory, the claw attack makes a little more sense since, you know, it's a bite down and then swipe with left and right paws, but you know, you could do a double bite. Maybe it's much faster at the bite. It does technically less damage too. So you could make it a little safer for the players and still have it as a CR3. So let's see, we're looking at a difference of 35, and 38. So about 3 damage on average. Oh, 2 beaks and 2 claw attacks. All right, let's see what we got there. Let's throw in an extra beak attack on top of that. E23. CR4. So that's going to definitely bump us up a little higher and gets us above the printed CR to get us that little bit extra. Nope. It now is technically underrated. But if we want a slightly more aggressive owlbear, then we have that as well. And if we really want to go aggressive, let's see here. Let's throw in the aggressive trait. Probably won't do anything. Oh, it does bump it up. Bumps the OCR up just a little bit, but still keeps it a CR4. So you can have like a super crazed, charging, deadly owlbear. Let's see here. Population growth. It's deadly until your players kill it in 1 hit and cheeses your encounter. That's very true. With an average of 59, that would be really, really impressive for players at lower levels. But depends on what's going on with your players and their gear and whatnot. It'd be interesting to see. Okay, let me take a note of this real quick, since our owlbear is overrated. Nope. Gotta go through all this. There we go. All right, so we had 1/2 and 4. Gives us a 2. All right. All right, evaluated. TCR 1/2, 4, down to 2. Overrated. Quick fix. +1 beak claw. There we go. Good to know. All right. Next we have the giant lizard. Another request from Cornucopia, who, like as I mentioned before, could not make it. So let's get our giant lizard here. And we have page 326. So probably on 327. Nope, it actually is on... No, where is it? What page am I on? Oh, I see. Nope, I don't see. Where is this thing hiding? Did I go... Alright, giant lizard. F. Goat, hyena. Oh, there it is. Oh, man. Wow, the stat block was really hidden. Okay. Oh, in general, yeah, I see what you mean. Population growth. Yes, Clawpaw. Finally found it. I was just blurring right past it because I only expected 2 monsters in the column, not 3. Okay. Giant lizard. We have a large beast. Goofed that up. There we go. Large beast with 12 AC. We have 3d10 hit dice. And a constitution bonus of 13. Should be a 1/4. Okay. And then we'll just jump right into the attack that it has, which only, let's see here, what do we got? Oh, we have a variant. Oh, spider climb, okay. Which, all the variant stuff isn't going to matter. We only have the one thing here. But the giant lizard can be ridden or used as a draft animal. Lizard folk also keep them as pets, and subterranean giant lizards are used as mounts and pack animals by drow, duergar, and other underfolk dwellers. Love that idea. Having a giant lizard as a mount. That's fantastic. All right, so we have a bite of +4 to hit, and we have a simple 6.5 points of damage. Now, the question is, this 6.5... probably gonna see. I'm gonna say CR 1/2. Let's see what we get here. No, what do you know? It's actually even rated. Okay. So we have 6.5 here for our OCR of 1/2, our hit points of a CR 1/8, and then bam, we have ourselves a CR 1/4. So the giant lizard, perfectly even rated monster. or mount. Good to know. Okay, giant lizard. We've evaluated that one. Nice and quick. Shoot, what was it? 2? Oh, 1/2. And 1/4. Perfect. It's even. No notes. Okay. So we can quickly move on into the giant ape, which was another request by someone on the Discord. Don't recall who it was at the top, off the top of my head. Let's see here. I want to get the last request. Who was it? Hong Kong. Who is Hong Kong? Don't know. Okay. So Hong Kong on the Discord requested the giant ape. Let's take a look. And that is on page 323. So let's go up to 323, not page 3. And we go to giant ape right here. So we have ourselves a CR7. Okay. Everything else but the giant ape is like low CRs. Our giant ape suddenly can do massive amounts of damage. Okay. Makes sense, I think. Alright, what do we got here? 10:45. Okay. Let's see here. What do we have? We have ourselves a huge beast. Oh, no wonder why. Okay, so this is like King Kong size, like giant ape. Not like just a large ape in the woods. AC 12, excuse me. 15 D12 hit dice. A constitution of 18. What is a constitution? It's funky monkey. Very true. Are we talking like was it funky monkey? I'm thinking like, no, I'm thinking gorillas. Never mind. That's completely wrong. Population growth. Saw you guys talking about Elden Ring. Is it any good? Clawpaw and Lorindar, would you mind enlightening population growth? I can only point to all the TikTok videos I've been seeing on the game and a couple like actual people playing it on either like Twitch or YouTube. So I don't really know myself, but it's a Soul style game, so take that as you will. Okay. We have all that set up, so we're going to look at the skills section. Nothing to worry about in the skills here, so we can just jump right down into the actions. And the ape makes 2 fist attacks. Our fist attacks are being done with +9 to hit, which should be expected for a CR, 7, which is not terrible at all. And the fist is going to be, let's see here, 22 points of damage. Oof, 22.5, because it's 3d10, so we have an odd number of dice. We have to remember to add in that half damage. And then the rock, let's see here, is 30.5 points of damage. Jeez. This is like giant territory here. I mean, it is a giant ape, but we're talking like, the giant monsters, like cloud giants and storm giants. This is just a reskin. That's all this is, really. Let's see here. So we've got 2 fist attacks times 2 for an even 45 points of damage. And since, that's the most amount of damage, we could say we'll do this every round of combat. In theory, the giant ape would probably have a better luck slinging a rock at first, staying well out of range because we have a 40-foot speed and 40-foot climb. So, throw a couple rocks and then come down and slam, or just keep throwing rocks. I don't know. Anyways, let's take that multi-attack and times it by 3 rounds of combat. And that gets us a surprising CR7, even rated. Good to know. Let's see here. Chat's talking about the Elden Ring. Souls veteran will have a slight advantage on it, as it is a Souls game, but yes, very nice. Population growth. Looking for new game, might snag it. And Clawpaw, good overworld. Quite some, lots of quests. The beginning might be a bit raw and stiff, but besides that, a top game. Lorindar, it's extremely good, but that's if you like the Souls-like style. That being said, It's open world. It gives you lots of extra places to gear up and find weapons, making it very easy to get into. Yeah, that's one thing I've been seeing with a lot of like the TikTok videos, are just the crazy weapons that are hidden all over the place in the most random and bizarre places. All right, so our giant ape is luckily a CR7 as printed. I mean, can't really go wrong here unless the damage is all over the place. So we have a 5, 8, and 7. Let's take a note of that. There we go. Giant ape down here. Ooh, excuse me. No notes for that. Okay. Alright, so I am now currently out of live stream requests. So unless anyone else has a request that they'd like to see done, I'll just pick something randomly since I still have another 13 minutes or so before the end of the stream. And what do I normally use? I've been using Donjon to get random encounters. So let's see here. Let's go to Donjon while we're waiting. Let's put that there. And let's see here. Random encounter generator. So we'll use our custom number of 4 players. Monkey. What monkey? Exomancer, hello! Oh, the T-Rex. I've actually done the T-Rex Exomancer. And surprisingly, the T-Rex is actually overrated. It's supposed to be a CR8 when it's actually a CR7. Let me pull up my notes here. And get the, let's see here. Tyranno. There we go. Battle tactics. Yes, perfect. Here we are. I'll throw that into, there we go. There's the T-Rex link if you'd like to watch it. It's surprising video. What do we got here? But there is a Godric one in Homebrewed, if it's not too long, of course. You're fast, you could do it. Am I missing something, Clawpaw? Is another monster request that I didn't see? Oh, Godric the Grafted stat block. Let's see what this one looks like. Might have to... Ooh, yeah. Let's save this for next week, buddy. This one's gonna take a while. This is like good first monster of the night kind of thing. I will add that to the list though. Godric the Grafted. Totally missed that one somehow. Okay. Yeah, it's a long one. All right, let me pull up the random encounters, unless someone else has a better idea. Let's go. We'll go with deadly encounters. Players level. We'll go with 9. Number 4 players. Do we want Underdark? Not really. Let's go with Celestial Plane. What we got? Priests, unicorns, knights. Those are boring. Jungle. Let's see here. Night Hag, Were Tiger. UNT Broodguard. Ooh, a UNT Broodguard. I don't think we've looked at that one yet. Have I done the cat? Like just the typical random house cat from, like, I think the player's handbook or whatever? Oh, in the that's right. It's in the monster manual. Just a standard house cat. You know, I don't know if I have, but just for the heck of it, let's just take a look at the cat. Yep, that cat. All right. 320. So it's going to be on this one. Okay. Cat. Let's take a look at the cat. I'm pretty sure I've looked at the cat before, but only because I made a whole slew of zombies once, and the cat and the dog were part of that slew of zombifications. So I turned the cat into a zombie cat at one point that's still sitting around. I'll have to pull that out at some point. So let's take a look at the cat and see if it's actually a CR0 or not. Alright, so we have a tiny beast, which makes a lot of sense, with 12 AC, and what do we got here? 1d4 hit points. So we're perfect right there. We don't have to move anything from that. We do have nothing else to worry about in the skills section, so that's all good. And we have keen smell. Now, obviously, you know, it gives advantage on wisdom perception checks, but doesn't help at all. And I honestly really believe cats should have dark vision. I mean, when you look at a cat and flash lights in their eyes, they got laser eyes and whatnot. So, in my opinion, cats have dark vision of at least 30 feet. So, let's take a look at the claws and its attack. So here's an interesting thing. We have, I guess the cat is based off of its strength attack somehow, because we have a +0 to hit. How is this possible for a +0 when technically we should always have +2 starting? If anything, and we're working off the strength, then this should be a -2 to hit. But for some reason they just give it a +0, which doesn't make any sense. But if we're working off the dex, then we should have a +4 to hit. I don't know. Yes, also Tabaxi have it, so I don't see why normal cats shouldn't. Yeah, exactly. See, if a Tabaxi has dark vision, then a regular cat also has dark vision. I don't care who says what. My cats have dark vision. Alright, so technically we'll go off of what we have here for the stat block. But if we follow every other convention, this cat should have a +4 to hit, because we're going to rely on the dex to make any and all attacks, especially from the claw. But because we're not dealing any extra... well, alright, you know what? That's why. Because we're not actually dealing any damage. But where's the 1 coming from? Because we're only dealing 1 point of slashing damage. I don't... Oh no, you always at base do 1 point of damage. So I guess it is working off the strength? I don't know. But this is showing us that the cat isn't proficient with its own claws. Charisma based. That'd be interesting. Weird. That could make sense if it was charisma, a charisma attack with the claws. Nothing necessarily says it always has to be strength and dex. Curious. Anyways, we got 1 point of damage, and we'll just multiply that times 3. And when everything's all said and done, we definitely have ourselves a CR0 for the typical house cat. So we're looking at 1 point of damage every round of combat, which lines up perfectly fine. And then for our hit points, the hit points are 2, and that would line up within the range here as well. So with their bonuses, although actually, hold up, because it is a +0 to hit, that's 3 under the expected, the OCR is technically a -1/8, but due to roundings and whatnot, -1/8 averaged out with 0 should technically be -1/16, and then we would round up to 0. So in effect, this is still a CR0 cat. But here's the thing. Something not right here. They're telling us that the cat isn't proficient with its own claws, which is silly. Let's see what happens if the cat is proficient with its claws and is based on the dex bonus. So we would take a +4 bonus here, and then we would just still say, alright, 1 point of damage, but it's also getting the dex damage bonus, and we would bump that up to 3. So then our cat would be a CR1/8 if we followed all the standard rules for all of our monsters. Which makes sense. That's not terrible. A CR1/8 as a cat, I could see that being, you know, an issue. My hands definitely show the war wounds from my cats, you know, take a point of damage here and there from them daily. Who knows? But anyways, as it's written, it's a CR0. So let's go ahead and pop this in here. Cat evaluated 0, 0, although technically should be a -1/8, and found a 0. I'm putting an asterisk there. And I'm going to complain in my own notes that WotC says cats aren't proficient with their own claws. Yeah, they can certainly be dangerous. I've got plenty of scratches to prove the point, and some good scars too from them. All right. Well, I think with only a few minutes to 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to call it a night and start getting ready for bed because I have a few things I got to take care of before going to bed. So, let's take care of this here and pop that there and say our goodbyes. It's been a few weeks since our last live stream, but thank you all for joining me for Clawpaw, Exomancer, Population Growth, and Lorindar. Anyone else that has watched this but didn't pipe up to say hello, which is perfectly fine, or if you watch this in the future, you've all been awesome. Thank you so much for watching, and this is me, Andrew, for D&D CR Exposed, wishing you all a pleasant night, a pleasant weekend, and asking the question, are your encounters even rated? Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you next week.